not for long, baby. I'm just trying to take it easy in my room, baby. I'm just trying to take it, Lord. Hey, don't go to I might split the mattress. I won't be here for long, so gratitude should be a habit, yeah. Know you in your chill, but I ain't tripping, I can crack it, baby. Loving you is easy, I can do the same like practice. Don't compare me to your used to be. Know that you've been hurt before. Why make me pay for someone else when you know that my worth is more? Won't be here forever, so go easy on me. I know my exes feel regret cause they still peeping on me, creeping on me. I'm so toxic, that's clear. Trying to give you something you ain't know you need before. I'm so toxic, that's weird. Trying to give you something you ain't never seen before. I got so much that I'm offering, so don't you pass me up. I got so much drive for this love, so you should gas me up. You gon' miss me when I'm gone, baby. Don't be long, baby. Just enjoy me while you can, it's not for long, baby. I'm just trying to take it in my room, baby. I'm just trying to take it. See you gon' miss me when I'm gone, baby. Don't be long, baby. Just enjoy me while you can, it's not for long, yeah. I'm just trying to take it in my room, baby. I'm just trying to take it in my room, girl. If I said it, then I meant it. I'm not the type to be pretending. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. If I say that I want you, I'm in it. And I'm keeping count of the minutes, but don't take too long, though. Cause good things come and go. They say that life is short, but baby, we should let us grow. Cause I'm like soil for your soul. I'm that chick that's on your goals. Yeah, I'm here when it gets messy. I'm like tissue for your cold. Okay, that's kinda lame. I never been the one that had a best game. But you can't deny that I'm the best thing. Yeah, I'm on your heart like some chest pain, you know? It's gonna pain you if you don't enjoy this moment, baby. Life is breezing by, and I just don't want you to blow it. Cause my love is like a cul-de-sac. It's gonna make you circle back. They know I'm a catch, that's why they always run it back. Cause you don't miss me when I'm gone, baby. Don't be long, baby. Just enjoy me while you can, it's not for long, baby. I'm just trying to take it in my room, baby. I'm just trying to take it. See you gon' miss me when I'm gone, baby. Don't be long, baby. Just enjoy me while you can, it's not for long, yeah. I'm just trying to take it in. Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles, no pain, no gain. I call it air, earth, fire, water, spirit, people. My ancestors and my
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. So now you don't want to answer the phone. And I probably shouldn't be calling you again. Like I know you saw my text messages. I know you saw all my phone calls. And I really feel like you overreacted.
First off, I'm not the one. I keep my feelings on safety cause I'm a loaded gun. I gotta learn to trust myself when I say that I'm done. Cause the moment that I lost you, I feel like I won. And what's crazy is I miss you in your toxic ways. Blocking you and all your friends just to feel okay. You ever wanna leave somebody and you wanna stay? It's like you know you deserve better, but you try to help them change. But if I had changed for every dollar that I spent trying to make you change, it wouldn't make sense. I wasn't added to somebody who wasn't even invested. I can't be your ride or die when you out here living reckless. Oh no, I am not the one. Cause if I ever walk away, just know I'm really done. And if I ever choose to stay, just know it ain't for nothing. Cause even though I'm feeling scared, you know I'll never run. I've never been the type of coach. You know I got a poker face. I let the pen say the things that we can never say. And I be holding back my feelings just to feel okay. Waves of emotions, but I'll never break. Cause I'm keeping you at bay.
No, I never would have thought that you would be just like everyone else, but you are. And I thought you were different. Like you promised that you would always be here. You said that we could make a new beginning together. So look at you.
I think it's funny how you quick to throw the passive in my face. Like, you ain't never wrong, I guess you never made mistakes. When everybody dropped you, I was there to hold the weight. Now somehow you got audacity to say you need a break. Why you lied to me? You said that we would get through everything. We had some issues and you walked away from everything. Knew I couldn't trust you. Knew I should have never loved you. Sitting even thinking somebody like you would ever want me. Yeah, I know I messed up a few times before. No, I made a couple promises and they got broke. No, I should have pressed ignore when she was calling my phone. I only entertained that girl because I was feeling alone, you know? But it's you I really want. I was just afraid.
I'm not gay.
I'm open up and show you that I've changed. But you so aggy telling me to leave you alone. Because you'd rather walk away and move on and let it go.
This is going to be my last voicemail. And I really hope that you respond. Like, I really miss you. I feel like we had so many good times. I feel like there was so much good about us. And I miss us. I miss the old us. Like, I just want to go back to the old days. 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 The old days.
Just a new artist. New artist named Erica Mason. Found her last night. And there's one song I want to play. That stood out to me.
Do not disturb me. No. Never been the type to take no disrespect. God's still working on me, softly conquering. Reaching out to God, like keep your kids in check.
Keep your kids in check, God.
I won't have no regrets. Honestly, I'm in the process, so don't get it twisted. I push you in check. Go better, wake up the open, I put you to rest. I'm working on me, but I'm still clocked in. I've been on edge, don't wanna see the end. Don't open that door, cause I'm real unhinged. Had to tell my ex that we can't be friends. What you thought this was? You know I'm a giver. You said you needed space, now you trying to reconsider. Don't get sentimental, you caught up in the middle. You thought that you could play me, I was real instrumental. I'm trying to pray to God, I don't snap back. I'm a standing ovation with clapback. Yeah, I'm all on your head like a snapback. Yeah, I'm about to eat you up like some rap stacks. God help me, please. They can try anyone else but me. They can try anyone else but me. I'm just trying to find a little love and some peace. I'm just trying to heal, but I'm trying to be all in. Hold me sugar, but she said to keep calling. Know they coming from me, but I'm trying to keep stalling. Know they coming from me cause you don't want no smoke. You don't want no gas. You don't want this pain. You don't know my past. You don't wanna see the old me, but I swear she about to come back. You don't wanna see the old me. Pray to God she don't come back. Cause you don't want no smoke. You don't want no gas. You don't want this pain. Cause you don't know my past. You don't wanna see the old me. Cause I swear she about to come back. You don't wanna see the old me. Pray to God she don't come back. I'm not tiny, no. But lucky for you, I've been working on me, so I guess you could call it a blessing. Normally, I would just body you, leave you on red, and don't even stress it. You hitting my line, you saw it online, and lately I know you obsessing. You miss what we had, you wanna go back, and now you got all these confessions. Just save it, look. You know I'm running out of patience. You know it ain't gonna change it, nah. You know it ain't gonna save it, look. I should just block you. Airplane mode, I dropped you. Saw 3 dots, so let me stop you. Calling my phone is not no option. You had your chance and now you lost. You don't want no gas. You don't want this pain. You don't know my past. You don't wanna see the old me, but I swear she about to come back. You don't wanna see the old me. Pray to God she don't come back. Cause you don't want no smoke. You don't want no gas. You don't want this pain. Cause you don't know my past. You don't wanna see the old me. Cause I swear she about to come back. You don't wanna see the old me. not disturbing, no. You quickly realize that it's not an easy journey. Oftentimes, we look at healing as something for those who are weak in an area that need some type of recovery. While this perspective is true in many cases, I'm learning that healing is for the strong too. To face adversity or challenges that trigger you to exercise the lesser evolved version of you, yet you still choose the healthy choice, that's not an easy feat. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes making the right decisions for ourselves is difficult, especially when the easier, unhealthy option is right in front of us. Sometimes regressing back to the older version of ourselves feels good in the moment, but oftentimes it opens the door for feelings of guilt and shame to linger. Now, I'm not gonna lie, if you're anything like me, you've probably enjoyed a few moments of regression, especially when you gave someone exactly what you felt like they deserved. Having moments of regression is a part of the process.
You can't see me?
But it's important to
used
know
to
that we
being
can't
seen.
stay there. Grace and love is always available to us during the journey. So don't be too hard on yourself if you find yourself wavering. Healing isn't easy, but it's necessary. I wrote these affirmations for those who need a little push to keep healing and to keep growing when circumstances are telling them to make unhealthy choices. Say these affirmations whenever you feel it's necessary. I am proud of myself. The road hasn't always been easy, but I'm choosing to stay the course.
Like I better keep it
I
the
give
way I
myself
had it.
grace and love as I grow in this season. I will not allow external circumstances to rob me of my internal peace. My feelings are important, but they don't control me. I make room for my feelings. I acknowledge my feelings, and I release the feelings that flow against my healing. I have a sound mind. I am not crazy. My feelings matter. I will make decisions in my life based on who I am and where I'm going, not solely on how I feel. I choose to release anger, anxiety, and frustration. I reclaim my peace. I reclaim my joy. It is well with my soul. There is more working for me than against me. I will remain calm and centered in frustrating situations.
All right. So, Mr. My subscription. Welcome. The bottom card of the shuffle, the cleansing of the deck is the Five of Gems. Keywords: misfortune, hopelessness, loss, waste, depression, faithless, jaded, and surrender. A weary old vagrant lies at the mouth of a cave. The cave contains valuable gems which the man could extract and use to make a better life for himself. Unfortunately, he is depressed, immersed in his own despair, and fails to realize the gems are calling to him. Apathetic to the world, he has surrendered to his condition. His sublime intuition tells him there is a solution, but he does not. Nothing to continue, nothing but continues to languish. The Five of Gems, the Five of Pentacles tells us that we need to learn from the adverse situations we encounter. It may be easier to play the victim, but we must be responsible for our fate. Quite often, there are solutions to our problems, albeit not always easy ones. Independence requires effort. The ability to pick up and begin again may be the best way to endure difficult times. The Five of Pentacles, no pain, no gain. The Five of Coins represents time of hardship and struggle in our lives when everything can seem mundane or even meaningless. Difficulties can have a huge impact on our health and sense of well being and security. There is, however, a deep patience and courage we can find within our human spirit during these times, and many important lessons we can learn. The world is full of suffering, it is also full of overcoming it. Times of hardship can test our attachment to the world and remind us of the impermanence of material things. Along with hardship comes an appreciation of the times in our lives when things are good. Recovering from a bout of illness can make us appreciative of good health. Going through financial difficulties can help us to focus on the important things in life. Treat this card not just as a bringer of doom, but also as an encouragement to be grateful for what we have. Prediction: storm clouds will blow over. The guidance is this too shall pass, and the problem is hardship and struggles. And that is the card from the shuffle. Excuse my background, fam. Gotta put in the work by any means necessary. I'm not using distractions as an excuse.
There's power in the right perspective. Ours is built
That's
on more than
right.
85 years of expertise.
Power in the right perspective.
I'm trying to figure you out. What happened to you? 'Cause you change. So tell me what's up. Yeah, you change. So show me what's good. You act different now. You got away. Spinning with your camouflage ways. You stay sketchy. You act different
Okay.
now. Hey, who you are, it must be camouflage. Hey, must be camouflage. Hey, you act. Shawty got my colors in a rainbow. Little leprechaun, baby, get your body cold. Hey, I hope you find peace though. It's being true to who you are, it's the cheat code. I know you had some hard times and it broke you. But what you got to prove to people who don't know you? The same ones who never would have chose you. But you gon' switch it up for the ones who don't want you. But I digress, 'cause I will stress you.
Okay, so I guess the Fool card is after the shuffle. The Five of Pentacles was before the shuffle. Now, whew, the energy. Give me one moment.
That I'm done. It's the only that I love, so I feel like I'm on.
Okay. I hope that doesn't mess up for Spoon switching screens. Let's go back to regular scheduled programming. The Fool. Keywords: accidental, coincidence, curiosity, innocence, beginning, standing at the threshold. Usually the Fool is card 0 or 1, 22 in the major arcana. In this deck, the card is represented as both 0 and 22 because it symbolizes both the beginning and the end of the Fool's journey. The Fool is a seeker of truth. His dreadlocks are a symbol of his rebellious nature and the spirit of adventure that reside in him. A yearning prompts him to renounce the doldrums of conformity and to begin his quest for something more. He carries with him his quest for something. He carries with him all his earthly possessions, in a calabash shell, and his animal spirit is by his side. The dog simultaneously serves as both a guardian, alerting him to the crocodile or the danger of walking off the precipice, as well as his folly, urging the adventurer to play and engage in frivolity instead of continuing his quest. We are all fools at some time or another until we remember what we have always known, regardless of how much knowledge we accumulate or how much practical experiences we may have. There is still much to learn and understand. The fool remains a walking question mark, never fixed in his beliefs, continually looking at the world with new eyes. Although he wanders dangerously close to the precipice, it is necessary for him to do so, for him to take the proverbial leap of faith and find the hidden temple within. The fool. Keep the faith and trust your instincts. We're going to keep going. Prediction: new beginnings and adventure. Look out for new opportunities. Problem: rash decisions. Sunsigns.org. Oh no, secret languages of birthdays for your title of today. It is Wednesday, March 12th, the day of the Fateful prediction. We are in the energy of the death card. Happy birthday, Pisces. You're accepting, courageous, evolving, overreaching, and self important. Your meditation, Pisces, the present periodically splits into two various paths, with a potentially fruitful avenue of exploration. I guess that's why the Fool card is here. The present periodically splits into two paths, each a potentially fruitful avenue of exploration. The present periodically splits into two paths, each a potentially fruitful avenue of exploration. So it doesn't matter which one you choose, I guess. The universe has your back. Let's see what is your personality for today, March 13th. In brief, it says it takes a lot to keep March 13th people involved and interested. They need to be emotionally engaged in their work. They have a sense of adventure and are not afraid to strike out in a different direction. Although their financial situation is often in flux, they always seem able to ride out the lean times. That's beautiful. Sunsigns.org. If you are a March 13th birthday person, you are talented and creative. You are different from most folks. The March 13th star sign is Pisces. You have your mind, and wow, that is a good thing. You have you are very considerate when it comes to the needs of others. With all the energy you have, you should want to burn it up in a more positive way. The birthday personality for those born on this day is Pisceans, who respect others and their need to have alone time. You are unique in that you don't ask many questions about your friends' personal lives, that is. You ask that they return this favor with the same understanding. Pisces, you have many friends, yet you are not very close or attached to any particular person. Happy birthday, Pisces. Born on March 13th, you're considerate, talented, aloof, lively, energetic, careless, and wise. Pisces, the fish. As we continue, you think your way is best and refuse to do things traditionally. You believe that even when you are wrong, you are right. Listen, Pisces, humans are fallible, and that is what you are, human. You could be neurotic. If I need a ride, you are the last person I would ask for help, Pisces. Wow. Needless to say, needy people turned you off. The birthday characteristics of March 13th born show you are spur of the moment Pisceans. You are likely to set out for a woodsy weekend affair. You love to hike and see what nature has inspired. Or we may find you water skiing. Who knows where you will end up next, Pisces? Nevertheless, once the moment is gone, you are done with it and are off to the next pleasure seeking activity. Your financial account balance sees a rise and fall in deposits and withdrawals. You work hard when you are working so you can ride out the tough times. It takes a lot to settle a 13th March birthday Pisceans down. Maintaining a balance between your strengths and weaknesses can be a problem when it comes to holding down your interests. If you are not passionate about your work, it becomes boring to you, and therefore you seem unconcerned. Your birthday meaning predicts that you have goals and you have definite ideas as they as to how they should be achieved. On a positive note, you can succeed at any goals you choose, but only if you want to. This is what identifies you as a Pisces with a March 13th zodiac birthday. As a young person, Pisces, you are special. You have a vivid and happy memories of your childhood years. Your parents brought you up as a believer in one faith, but as an adult Pisces, you are unlikely to practice it. You have the right to change your mind. What you are likely to convey to a young adult is that wisdom is the key to personal happiness and success. Where there is wisdom, you will find sanctity, you tell them. In most cases, Pisceans have imaginative personality. You are often surrounded by innovative vocations. Those born on this day are more concerned with a career that implements their aspirations. Your right and talents make you an excellent choice for a campaign manager or a strategic planner. With all that energy you have, the 13th March birthday horoscope predicts that you have little or no interest in working out to keep fit. You think you are active. You think that your active lifestyle alone would will be beneficial. 6:51 p.m. on my alarm. Are you looking for spiritual connections? I'm not saying this is wrong, but a nice evening stroll would be enjoyable as well as advantage. Pisceans born on this day love sports and what it encompasses: loud noise, greasy foods, and alcohol. You cannot eat this way and expect it not to catch up with you over some time. You do not have to stick to a diet, but watch what you eat, please. If you are born on March 13th, you are at risk of suffering from mental disorders or psychological illnesses. Please know that you need to balance some areas of your life. Your health is very important. Not you should not take good health for granted. 6:52 p.m. on my alarm. Are you glossing over deeper issues? If today, 13th March, is your birthday, then you should be slow to drink or take drugs. It can have adverse effects on you, especially if you are a woman. The primary focus should be to guard against the stomach areas. You are subject to liver problems and ulcers. At the end of the day, Pisces birthday astrology for March 13 also forecasts that you might be unreliable. You are hard to hold down as your spirits run free and high. This is like living in the now and will not hesitate to take a long drive to anywhere the waves take you. You enjoy your childhood and still today you find it hard to give up junk food. As an adult, you need to take care of your liver. Overall, Pisces, you have a lot going on mentally and need to take active measures to ensure your health. Happy birthday, Pisces. March 13th, you could be an unreliable spirit. You tend to love junk foods, but need to take care of yourself. The Piscean sun sign as a young adult are cheerful individuals with a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of balance with your active lifestyle. So, famous people and celebrities born on this day today, March 13th. Let's see. Um, eh, I don't know any. Lucy Fry, to say the least. Happy birthday. This day that year, March 13th in history, 1656, New Amsterdam is against the law for Jews to build a synagogue. In 1868, U.S. President Andrew Johnson's impeachment trial begins. In 1894, the starting gate for racehorses was invented. J. L. Johnstone of England. In 1913, Kansas censorship of motion pictures approved by state legislators. Your verdict moon sign is the machine, the mean machine. However, we won't go into that. I haven't been going on, I'll probably go on once, just once time, but I'm already repeating myself by going back to the Chinese zodiac, the rabbit, sunsigns.org, if you wish to read along with me. Trolls, huh? The rabbit. 6:55 p.m. on my alarm. Are you looking for new experiences? The Chinese zodiac rabbit is aware of their motivations, their feelings, and movements, but sometimes they question their behaviors in social situations. They know they have conducted themselves to the best of their ability, but are never quite certain if that means they behaved correctly. The Chinese rabbit tends towards introversion, finding himself content in the quieter, lonely moments that come his way. Rabbits are touchy. It's not hard to hurt their feelings, but you may never know this as they'll bury that away. The rabbit sign is creatures of order and disorder will set them completely ill at ease. It is a harmony that is at the rabbit's heart. And for all their tenderheartedness, all they want is to be loved and accepted even while maintaining themselves in a place of seclusion. The Chinese zodiac sign rabbit's strength is a keen awareness of their inner self. Time spent in seclusion contemplating their motivations is important to the rabbit. He tends outward control. What a rabbit feels is their business, and what lies beneath is deeply private. This allows them to appear calm and collected even when they're feeling anything but that. The rabbit characteristic shows that they know when to speak and when to withhold speech. They never bother to speak when what they have to say is not worthwhile. Rabbits are deeply focused on self improvement and thus will pursue perfection in all things in their lives. The most comforting thing about the rabbit is that their honesty is beyond question. Deception is simply not in their nature. Their analytical nature doesn't stop with themselves. He can turn that to others and is adept at dissecting their nature. Some of the rabbit's signs' best assets, when turned on their heads, are some of their greatest weaknesses. Rabbits are timid around other people while caring deeply about what they think. Their innate sensitivity makes them easily hurt, while their retention of their emotions keep them from letting others know that they've been hurt. The rabbit man or rabbit woman enjoys living in the safety of his home, but this can lead to him becoming a hermit, secluding himself from the world. They are staunchly honest, but this also means that they are incapable of even the gentlest of deceptions. Their analytical nature, unfortunately, can lead them to becoming disillusioned about human nature and embittered about those they associate with. The Chinese rabbit zodiac sign is a diligent worker, careful in all their endeavors, provided that their need for freedom is met. They are capable of being amazing producers in the workplace, but he must have his security and be his boss. His concern over his sense of security leaves him unable to cope with being under another's thumb. The rabbit wants a secure office with a comfortable workplace, not adventure or travel. It is important to know that a rabbit is primarily concerned with their security and welfare, and this can stand in the way of their sense of altruism. The rabbit as a boss is going to be an excellent leader if you are seeking solid and secure income. He doesn't take unnecessary chances, but will take what seems like odd directions that turn out magnificently for him. 6:59 p.m. on my alarm. Are you staying silent? As for the sense for buried riches, for finding he has the sense of for buried riches, for finding the value in things that others can't quite see the point of. The Chinese rabbit as a boss will broker deal with ease. His diplomatic abilities are beyond reproach. He is well mannered, gracious, and persuasive, seeing his way through to mutually agreeable decisions where others were left unable to reach an accord. The Chinese horoscope sign Rabbit as a co-worker who can be touchy, can work in conjunction with others, and will gladly negotiate out divisions of labor and project plans. His sensitivity to others' emotions and opinions allows him pause for a moment of prayer. The Chinese horoscope sign Rabbit as a co-worker who can be touchy, can work in conjunction with others, and would gladly negotiate out divisions of labor and project plans. His sensitivity to others' emotions and opinions allows him to come to a reasonable accord and keep the workplace friendly and warm. Their major failing could be sort of timidity, which if not overcome, can lead to a decided difficulty in taking advantage of opportunities. Did my screen just black out? I go through the oddest thing online. Gotta have a backup, I tell you. Sunsigns.org. Chinese zodiac rabbit. Priestess is ready to read. The Chinese horoscope sign rabbit as a co-worker who can be touchy can work in conjunction with others and would gladly negotiate. I've already been there. In Chinese astrology, the rabbit prefers to be independent financially, squirreling away money for later days, and keeping themselves secure without the assistance of others. No matter how much money a rabbit has packed away, it isn't ever enough. He always wants to make just a little more sure that his security is solidly in place. And this can end up being a problem as he can hesitate in putting forth money to work in the interest of having money put away. In these circumstances, he can wind up being stingy and more than a little over concerned with the bottom line. The Chinese zodiac rabbit is not particularly sentimental. They are deeply in touch with the thoughts and emotions of those around them. They don't immediately fall in love, and this emotion can be quite difficult for them. While dating the rabbit does not have much tolerance for human flaws in their partners, a direct result of their sometimes overinflated opinion of themselves. Attempting to seduce a rabbit is a fool's bargain. Their reticence extends itself to having to be the initiating member of a relationship. The big problem for rabbit is that relationships require a shared sentimentality that speaks against everything that they stand for personally. It offends their sense of decency and certainly their typical reserved nature. A rabbit Chinese sign lacks confidence as a rule, and this can create problems with their love relationships. Their appetite is copious, but their sense of decency can leave them being a bit prudish. Even if their appetites run deeper, they're too reserved to act on them. Getting through to a rabbit requires getting through into their emotional burrows. Showing patience and understanding with them or him or her can get them to open up in this area. His habits tend towards a tender and careful lover, deeply connected with those he shares these intimacies with. He must be his fragile emotional nature makes it impossible for it to be otherwise. So the years of the rabbit. February 19, 1939 to February 8, 1940. 7:08 p.m. Are you looking for to compromise? February 6, 1951 to January 26, 1952, January 25, 1965 to February 12, 1964, February 11, 1975 to January 30th, 1976, January 29th, 1987 to February 16th, 1988. Now, February 16th, 1999 to February 4th, 2000, February 3rd, 2011 to January 22nd, 2012, February 22nd, 2023 to February 9th, 2024, February 8th, 2035 to January 27th, 2036. Your ruling planet is Neptune, which symbolizes an intuitive temperament, optimism, and illusions. The two fishes are the symbol for the Pisces star sign. Your birthday tarot card is Death. This card symbolizes a period of transition between the end of something and a new beginning. Let's shuffle 3 times for the message. And take a look at this here. Okay, I'm going to read each meaning. Just go along with it. The first shuffles the 6 of spades. Time to go, Pisces. The key words is escape, refugee, moving away, distancing, relocation, journey, traveling, vocation, vacation, change of environment. Time to make your way out in the stillness of the night while the world still sleeps. The Six of Blades card signals a departure from one modality and a transition to the next. And in a reading, this card may be an indication that you need to sever ties with the harmful enemies, harmful elements in your environment, or to distance yourself from a dangerous situation. It might also be hinting that you need to use direction, discretion, making unilateral decisions. Avoid causing a commotion. Do what needs to be done and do not be afraid to explore uncharted territory. The Six of Swords. Listen to the inner voice. Forthcoming changes. Prepare for a changing fortune. A time for transition. Second shuffle. Oh wow. The Death card sure brings up some killer reading energy. The Ten of Spades. Keywords defeat, disaster, rock bottom, failure, ruin, and endings. You gave it your best shot and fought to the bitter end, The cycle has the cycle has ended with a painful finality, but all is not lost. The lifeblood of the warrior drains into the earth and into the ruins below him, energizing them. His sacrifice is temporary, and a new day shall come eventually when the legacy built on the intense energy of his life force will emerge with renewed vigor. The Ten of Swords. It's always darkest before dawn. Tough times will pass. Believe in yourself. The School of Hard Knocks. The third shuffle. The divine is handing you something. The Four of Cups. You're going to take a cup. The key words is boredom, apathy, disillusionment, true nature of things, and misconception. A man tired of the rat race sits under a tree feeling dejected and apathetic. The vessels beneath him symbolizes the thrill of his past experiences but are empty now and cast aside. Small rodents surround him and scurry restlessly to and fro, deep in the throes of his existential crisis. He is unaware of the love being offered to him from the source nearby, and when this card appears in a spread, it signals an opportunity to expunge boredom, disillusionment, and in a natural part of our spiritual journey. When illusions are cast aside, we can see things for what they are. Don't let romantic notions of how you want things to be interfere with your self worth. Learn to accept the reality of things to create the changes you long for. 7:16 p.m. Take a risk. The Four of Cups. Self, self, self. Prediction. Unable to focus on needs. Guidance. Take time out to meet needs. Problem. Absorb with oneself. Like that. And we get the full card back out. I don't have no stands for the other cards. So for the death card, the Seven of Pentacles. Keywords Hard work, assessing inventory, patience, time, lengthy, slow progress, and evaluate. An exhausted gemstone miner takes in a moment to gather his strength and evaluates his efforts as he looks towards the future. He has made significant progress, but there is still plenty more work to do. This card reminds us that the time and effort we invest in a project will determine our reward. Fame and glory may not be in the cards for everybody, some may not even aspire to those things. The Seven of Gems reassures us that working behind the scene is just as crucial as the limelight, sometimes even more so. If recognition is not what you seek, then as long as you are compensated fairly for your beliefs, it's okay to take satisfaction in a job well done. So many choices, so little time. More fun coming. Balance structure with fun, lost structure. The death card, the key words is change, transition, transformation, alchemy, endings, and beginnings. People tend to be scared of the word death, but this is not a morbid card. It indicates transformation and letting go of the past in order to move on. A great example of this transformative power of death is the way Christ died to redeem humanity and save the world, and is represented here as the phoenix rising. The astrological correspondence for this card is Scorpio, which comes during the period or the year when nights are longer and the light of the sun is overwhelmed by harsh, colder temperatures. It is uncomfortably dark before the dawn. People go through their trials, and if their faith endures, they emerge with renewed energy and faith. The serpent represents apotheosis, which the forces of good will conquer. On a practical level, this card is about dealing with the fears and bad habits you have that hide in the dark and are usually nameless. Once you identify them, you can make a commitment to transform them into something useful. If you ignore or dismiss, they will persist and fester. So give a thing a name and you will bring it into light. The nameless card can ask you to reflect upon the aspects of your personality that no longer serves you and move away from them. It also urges you to be thankful for where you are now in your journey. Others haven't been as fortunate as their time in the physical realm has passed. You still have the opportunity to make progress in this incarnation. We'll say the death for last. Is that the Queen of Wands? The Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands. The key words is burden, responsibility, heavy loads, delegation, pressure, struggle, and uphill momentum. The man depicted on this card is laden with sticks bearing the fruits of his labor. As his dragon spirit guide goes him forward, he has decided to shoulder the entire burdens of the workload himself. It may not be easy, but sometimes it is the only option available to us. This card shows the anguish of an uphill struggle and the tenacity of moving forward. It represents independence and initiatives. When it appears in a reading, the Ten of Sticks advises you to keep focused on your goals and press forward, even if it requires more work than you had expected. You're almost there. Making progress with anything involves effort. This card also reminds us that a spiritual path is not simple. It demands effort and work as necessary steps towards our spiritual evolution. death. The meanings and interpretation of the major arcana, followed by the meditation at the end. The grim skeletal figure on a pale horse, looking over the field where many lie dead and dying. Death card does not represent people but situations. Change is inevitable, and the grim specter is its herald. Jobs may end, relationships may move on, friendships end, and life is full of changes, some positive and some not so much. All of them are the purview of the death card in the major arcana. There is a cessation in your future, but it will be a welcome one. The Reaper comes to begin the transformation of a negative situation to a positive one. It is clearing the land, preparing, perhaps rendering its fallow so that a new beginning can sprout from it. So, the past events yesterday, you have recently passed through a time of endings, but that time is over. It has been a time of transformation and metamorphosis, and it's time to come out, excuse her, of your chrysalis and transform. It has been a painful, confusing, and trying time, but it's time to burst into the future. The present events. Now, these times may be trying, very trying, as the forces of change move through your life, but know that this is a temporary and needed. Please do not best, please do your best to embrace the change and its opening of a new chapter in your life. Tomorrow, your current situation may seem difficult, perhaps even overbearing, but the sweeping change of death is coming. The situation will end, and when it does, it will bring relief, the refreshing fall of spring rain to wash away the past. In reverse, change is coming like a storm at sea, like a hurricane, and its herald is devastating. The pale horse is coming and will leave a burning path in his wake, and all one can do is build on the ashes of the past. The past events. You have just come through a trying time, and your life seems like it's in ruins. But take heart. These times are over, and the time of rebuilding can begin. It has been hard to deal with, and you may have been stretched to the point of exhaustion. But you can start moving forward now. The present events. All is in flux. Everything is changing, and it is hard. You may feel like you can't get get a handle over everything, like they are. And when all is said and done, nothing will be the same afterwards. Put your head down and push through the hurricane force winds. This period cannot last forever. The future events. Dark clouds are on the horizon, and the crows sit in their trees with their foreboding calls. The future smells of smoke and desolation, and there is little hope that the coming changes will happen smoothly. Prepare your shelter, get your ducks in a row, and prepare to ride out the outcoming storm. There is no stopping what's coming, there is only survival. The meditation for the death card in the upright position. The associated colors are green for growth and change. We are at the top of the hour of the live recording. The key time is 7:30 on my alarm. No alarm. And excuse her. This tarot card on the death card upright will focus on the benefits of change and transformation. It talks about the positive things that happen when life turns a page and lets go of the past. As you settle in for the meditation, let yourself become open to change, alteration, and transformation. You will wake up on a hillside in the shade of a great oak on a hot summer's day. Around you, the crops are high, soon to be ready to be harvested. Standing next to you is a shepherd watching over the flock that also stands below. He smiles quietly at you and offers you his hand. Standing, you take his hand and he begins to lead you down the hill. As you walk, the day starts passing at a rapid rate. Day to night, today, like the flickering of a light switch. Watch, you watch as the crops ripen and the days slow down. It is now fallen, and the shepherd is older. His crook has become a cane. He watches as people move through the field down below and reap the crops that are finally ripe. The day is cold, and the bite of winter is in the air, and he leads you into an orchard. As you walk through, you can see apples left on the orchard floor, bruised and worms eaten. The day starts to flicker again, rapidly moving forward. Frost coats the ground and then thaws as morning comes. The frost over and thaws again. Each time it thaws less and less quickly, lasting longer than into the morning, until it just stays a permanent frost. The apples burst with rot and decay into puddles on the orchard floor. Not long after the starts to fall, the day slow, and you find yourself back at the edge of the orchard. The snow has fallen and is now thick about your legs. You can feel its cold, biting nature and the heavy sleep that tries to set in as the cold goes deep. In the field ahead of you, a weak ram stumbles in the snow, his bleats quiet and strained, and finally he can't go on and collapse. The man next to you is no longer a man but the specter of death in his black robe and osseous countenance. His cane has become a scythe. He walks forward, releases the spirit of the ram from its body, and collects it in a satchel at his waist. He looks at you, and you can feel the inevitable march of change. But then the days are spinning again, and the man disappears, the winter passes, and the snow melts away. When the cycling stops, you find yourself again in the orchard. It is a cool but pleasant spring day. There is the sound of bleating lambs from the field, and on the ground before you can see the sprout of a new apple tree. And looking up, you wonder where the older adult is. The cry for a newborn draws your eyes, and the burrow is hanging from the tree. The ruddy skinned golden hair of a newborn swallowed in wraps of green greets your eyes. It all begins again. The ever changing wheel of time has turned. Come out of this tarot meditation of the death card and take your time contemplating on the meaning of positive change, the ever turning wheel of the seasons, and how the old clears the way for the new. Perhaps there is a message here for you, and write it down in your journal to review later. Remember, if nothing changes, nothing changes, and the future cannot exist in status. The meditation for the death card in reverse, the associated colors are red for destruction. This tarot meditation of the death card in reverse will focus on the concept of violent change. It talks about the blade of death's scythe, torching, touching on your life and taking you along with it. Painful change is the purview of this unwelcome devastation. As you focus on this, feel the fear of change, the rumble of hurricanes, and the torrents of fires out of control. You find yourself upon a cliff face overlooking the ocean. The waves are crashing heavily upon the rocks below, and the skies are a steely, angry gray. In the distance, you see the oncoming funnel of a hurricane. It's whipping and howling its way across the briny deeps towards the shore. And turning your head to the shore, you can see a small town overlooking the ocean. The wind has already done its damage there, tearing the roofs off the houses and causing fires. The people of the town are running. The fool carrying the weight of the world